Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from DBPOWER. This is their 9.5-inch portable DVD player with rechargeable battery. You can check this out on Amazon at the time of this review for $65. So let's get into it now. Okay, so once we get everything unboxed, you're going to have an accessories box, and of course you're going to have the DVD player itself. So let's get the DVD player out so we can show you some of the literature that comes with it and the player itself. It's not an overly big player. It is 9.5 inches in display. We'll get into that in a minute. In our accessories box, we get a multifunction remote. It takes two AAA batteries that are not included. You do get a AC adapter to recharge that 3500 milliamp battery, and as you can see, it is a 100 to 240 volts with an output of 12 volts at 1.5 amps max. So you've got that to recharge that battery, and that battery will last you up to about 5 hours of playback time. You do have an AV cord here for hooking this up to older devices that have audio video. There's an AV in and out port as well that we'll go over in a second. You have a car charger, so if you're watching this on a long car trip and you need to charge it up, you can also do it via the car as well. And then they give you an interesting thing here. This is a little gamepad that will plug into the rear of the player. And if you go to their website, which is www.dbpower.co.uk, you can download the games that this will support, and you can put them on a USB stick or an SD card. And they're older NES style games, so we'll get into that in just a little bit. Your warranty card here, you do get a 12-month warranty. If you need to get in touch with them, you can get in touch with them at service@dbpower.co.uk if you have any questions or anything like that. Or you can contact them on Amazon as well. So hold on to your warranty card. You do get a user guide here, and I'm just going to briefly flip through the user guide. It is written in English, and it's pretty well laid out. The print is a little bit small, but not bad. It just goes over the functions of the remote itself and what all the ports are on the actual player. So I will show you those myself. But it's in English, and it's pretty well laid out. You just have to be aware that the font on it is pretty small. So let's take a look at the player itself. Okay, so here we have the player, and I want to show you the ports that come on the player itself here. On the right-hand side, as you're looking at, you're going to have a USB port. You're going to have a full-size SD card slot. You're going to have a headphone jack, which is a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You're also going to have an AV out and an AV in case you want to watch something on a bigger screen. You have your power button and of course your DC jack on the right hand side there. On the front, you're going to have a little IR window there that's going to have three different things. It's going to have battery power, obviously the window for the IR, and then the status of whether it's powered on or off, and you'll get a green LED for that. Nothing on that side. And on the back, you're going to have a lonely USB port, which is the second USB port, and if you can see that, it says game there, and that's where that gamepad will go in, so that you can check out the games that they supply from their website. Opening it up, you see that 9.5-inch screen there. It is a TFT screen. You do have all your controls up front here. The lever to open everything up so that you can fit a DVD in. It will read DVDs. It will not read Blu-rays, of course. And then you have all of your controls here. As you can see, navigation controls on the bottom. You've got your source buttons in the middle, and then, of course, at the top, your forward and reverse as well as a few other buttons, but basic controls, and they do work. Again, that nice jog wheel at the bottom here for navigation with an OK in the middle. The screen itself swivels up to 180 degrees and then can fold down into a tablet mode, which is actually pretty cool. If you're going to use this for like the back of your car seat for the kids or something like that, then it works out pretty well. It's got two front-facing speakers on it that do a pretty good job at pushing sound towards the user. So I do like the fact that the screen swivels and that you can collapse it down like that as well. So let's check out the screen in action. As you can see, I've got a DVD in there now, and it is a TFT screen, so you're going to be able to see a little bit. When you're looking right at it, it looks pretty decent. This is under direct light as well from an LED light bar. The side-to-side view is not too bad, but as most TFT screens go, it washes out a little bit on the the up and down. But overall, it's not bad. It's got pretty decent colors. The side-to-side angles are, again, pretty decent as well, so it's not too bad for a $65 player. Playing DVDs, I had no problems whatsoever seeking or doing chapter jumps, and did not have any problems whatsoever. The speakers on this, again, are very, very nice. And do a great job at pushing sound towards the user, so that's actually pretty cool. Now this OSD that you see here, this is your kind of on-screen display. You can see that we can adjust the TV display and a few other things. I'll kind of get into that so you can see it a little bit more. You can adjust your sharpness, your brightness, your contrast, your hue, your saturation, and all of these can be adjusted through the on-screen display, which is handy, and actually you can sharpen the picture up pretty well from what it's set up to out of the box to whatever you would like. Getting into it is pretty easy. You just hit the setup button and there you are, and you can jump back and forth from general setup to audio setup as well. There's also some audio setup that you can get into. You can do 16:9 on this. You can do angle marks on this, OSD, screensaver, and last memory, which means it'll remember the last place you were on your disk, and then you can do that. If you want to adjust the brightness, you can just go into the sub menu, and as you can see, I can lower the brightness or I can raise it depending on how it looks to me personally. I like to put it up a little bit, like on +5 at that point. And you can also adjust the contrast, hue, and saturation, of course. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you was the game function that they offer with this. Now they give you this little controller. It's not the greatest controller, but it does the job. And it will be USB connected to the rear connection, which is specifically for the game controller. You can go to DBPOWER's website and download the games file that they have in their support page and put it on a USB or SD card and then insert that. You're going to want to make sure that there's no disk in your player. And then you're going to want to hit your source button, and then it will read the NES files off of either your SD card or your USB. And as you can see, there's a bunch of NES files there. We have 202 different games that you can grab. 1942, that's a classic game. And these are all old Nintendo games. As you can see, we go through a ton of them already. I mean, 202 different games that you can add. Now this adds a little bit of dimension other than just being a DVD player. There's the Blues Brothers was back there. Let me go up to that. And we'll launch it just so I can show you that it does play. Down to the bottom here. And we will launch the Blues Brothers. And as you can see, there it is. Officially licensed product. Licensed by Nintendo of America. Again, you're going to want to determine whether it's legal to play ROMs and games that are licensed from Nintendo in your area. So just a disclaimer there. But it does run. You can see the Blues Brothers is running, and it's good. So all those games are included if you go to their website and support page. Okay, so that was the DBPOWER 9.5-inch rechargeable DVD player. Again, you can get it on Amazon. I'll have that link in the description below. Overall, I think they did a pretty good job for $65. It's not too bad. The TFT screen is it's okay. Looking directly at it, you get a good picture with good colors. If you do look at it from the side angles, it's got okay side viewing. The only thing you're going to have to worry about is that up and down angle. It's not going to be so great. It's going to wash out on you. So as long as you're looking straight at it, it looks really well. The speakers are very nice, and the addition of added games make this a extra buy that a lot of other DVD players don't include. So for $65, it's not a bad deal. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so because that always helps me out. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.